Andy, did you hear that? Come on, will you?
Did I hear what?
That whistle. That's the Rinso White whistle.
And Rinso means us.
That's right. Rinso gets clothes Rinso White, and Rinso presents the Amos and Andy Show. Rinso for a wash, that's...
Rinso what?
Rinso for a wash, that's...
Rinso White.
Yes, a Rinso White, Rinso Bright wash is something to whistle and ring bells about. Make next wash day a Rinso wash day. See for yourself how much easier Rinso is on you and on your clothes, whites and washable colors, too. Rinso's also a big help on your spring house cleaning jobs. Those soapy-rich suds make dirt vanish from windows, floors, and woodwork. Use Rinso for all your soap and water jobs. And next wash day, remember.
Rinso what?
Rinso White. Happy little wash day song.
And now our stars, Amos and Andy. Before we open our show, let's go back 20 years when one George Kingfish Stevens and one Miss Sapphire Smith were out dancing together. She said,
George, you dance divinely.
then he said,
I could dance with you till the cows come home. You was like a feather.
and she said,
George, listen to that music. It's the song we both love. Let me call you sweetheart.
then he said,
Honey, let me call you sweetheart. Forever, dear.
and she said,
George, is you proposing?
then he said,
Yes, honey.
and she said. And now, let us look in on this same couple 20 years later. They're married now, and they've just arrived home after spending another evening dancing together.
Well, of all the loads I ever dragged around the dance floor, you was the worst.
Oh, is that so? I remember when you used to say you could dance with me till the cows come home.
Yeah, well, the way you danced tonight, I thought they was there.
Ain't you funny? You know, when it comes to dancing, you ain't no gazelle.
Yeah, I never said I was. But I knows this much. I happens to be very light on my feet.
Yeah, and very heavy on mine. But, George, really, I don't mind you dancing on my feet. It's the constant jumping on and off that gets me.
Now, boy, I'm so glad we're home. Let me get off my shoes here and soak my feet in some hot mustard water here. Get these shoes off. You poor feet. Feet, I knows just what you thinking. You was thinking, what did I ever do to deserve this punishment?
You know, George, I was just thinking, too. This show is a lot different than when we used to dance to our favorite song, Let Me Call You Sweetheart. Sometimes it don't seem like we're married no more.
What you mean by that?
Well, you used to be romantic and sweet to me when we was first married. But now, since you done stopped being sweet, well, our marriage just ain't amounted to much.
Now, there's a fine thing to say. That's the appreciation I get. And to think that I give up a career for marriage.
What career did you give up for marriage?
Well, I would have thought of something, all right.
You know, George, all you does is aggravate me. I can still remember before I married you, something told me not to.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. The whole trouble was I listened to my heart instead of my head. My heart said, there's the man I'm going to ride down life's highway with.
Yeah, and what did your head say?
It said, let me off at the next corner.
Sapphire, is I to gather from this little conversation here that if you had to do it over again, you wouldn't marry me?
Take it any way you want.
Well, this is very interesting. Sapphire, I was going to make you eat them words.
Oh, I tell you, boys, the Kingfish is really in trouble with his wife.
Yeah, really bad this time, huh, Andy?
Yeah, Emma, she claimed that if she had to do over again, the chances is she wouldn't marry him. What do you think of that, Brother Crawford?
Well, I can hardly blame Sapphire. The Kingfish doesn't know how to treat a woman. Women need love and affection. I read someplace.
Yeah. She done told the Kingfish he ain't sweet and romantic no more.
Well, that's why he made his mistake. A wife always wants a husband to be romantic.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Very definitely so. And fortunately for my wife, I am the romantic type.
You is?
Oh, yes. I've never failed to kiss my wife before I go to work and also when I return from work. 2 times a day. On birthdays and anniversaries, it has run as high as 3 times.
You really a ball of fire on them days, ain't you?
Well, it seems to me, Brother Crawford, that you kind of kiss your wife by a timetable, don't you? Well, that's how my wife wants it.
Yeah, well, I always thunk it was nicer for a husband to kiss his wife, not when he's supposed to, but kiss her when he feel like kissing her.
My wife prefers not to take that chance.
Your wife certainly got you toe to mark, ain't she?
Well, not always. I believe in an orderly married life, but at the same time, I believe a man should have a private life of his own, which his wife does not have to know anything about.
Well, she know whatever you does, don't she?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, the thing is that...
Well, hello there, fellas.
Hi, Kingfish. Hi, come here.
Sorry to hear about you and your wife, Kingfish.
Yeah, thanks, Amos. Say, I wonder if I could be alone with Andy. I want to speak to him.
I was about to leave anyway, so goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Yeah, well, I'll go along with you, Brother Crawford. So long, fellas.
So long, Amos. So long.
Andy, I think I got an idea to make my wife come to her senses.
Yeah?
And I want to see what you think of it, and I don't want all the other fellas to know about it.
Yeah, well, what is it, Kingfish?
Well, now, it so happens that a letter come this morning addressed to me and Sapphire from a friend of ours down south in the same town where the justice of the peace lived, who done married us 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, what about it?
Now, Sapphire didn't see the letter, and I just happened to open it without tearing the envelope. Now, here's my idea. I is going to write a letter and pretend it come from the clerk where we was married.
Oh, you is? Huh?
Yeah, now here's what. I'll say that the justice of the peace that married us has died, and his papers show that his license done expired before he married us and was no good when he performed the ceremony for us.
Yeah, well, then that would mean that you and Sapphire ain't never been really married in the eyes of the law. You just had a long engagement.
Yeah, that's right. Look here, I'll seal the letter in the envelope and leave it where Sapphire can find it. Boy, is she going to be surprised.
But, George, does you see what this letter means? We ain't really married.
That's right, that's right. That's what it's saying in the letter, don't it? We'd have to get remarried. Well, here's your chance to be free right now. We ain't married no more, so let's call it a day.
Call it a day.
Yeah, you go your way and I'll go mine. Good luck to you and all that stuff. See you again sometime. It's been nice knowing you for 20 years.
We ain't married no more.
That's right, we ain't married.
Good, and that's how it's going to stay.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. What? Wait a minute, you mean that you ain't going to marry me again?
Exactly, George.
Now, wait a minute now, but Sapphire, honey, you making a mistake here. You my wife, and I is your husband, George.
Pardon me. I didn't catch the name.
But Sapphire, now don't be foolish. I is your husband.
Husband? Well, I haven't had a husband in 20 years.
Oh, me. Now look, Sapphire, look here. We both tired now. Look here. Let's forget it until tomorrow.
All right, George. I guess we do need some sleep.
Yeah, I guess we sure do, honey. Let's go to bed.
All right. Here's your toothbrush, and there's the door.
The door?
Yes, I is a respectable, unmarried woman, and you is a very late visitor, so get out.
But Sapphire!
Get out, I said. Get out and stay out.
Now let's listen to the Mystic Knights of the Sea Quartet singing Choo Choo Polka.
The conductor gave the downbeat as he yelled all aboard to a solid polka rhythm. Well, that choo-choo engine roared. Choo-choo, 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 choo-choo polka time. As the
choo-choo, ramble down the railroad track. No one cared when they were coming back.
On everybody's face you'd see a smile as they
Dance a polka down the aisle. Boys and girls in moments so sublime. Their hearts beating out in polka time.
They kept singing and they wouldn't stop.
Couldn't stop.
Till the engineer blew his whistle.
Then he blew his stop. Boys and girls in moments so sublime. Their hearts beating out in cruel time.
Everyone was jumping on the beam.
Solid beam, boy.
Till the engineer blew his whistle.
Then he let off steam. Choo-choo, 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 polka
Henry, look at that, look at that. Ain't that the kingfish sleep on deck?
Why, yes, Gabby, I believe it is. I can't see the face, but it sounds like the kingfisher's snore. Yeah, you see, it's got that whip at the end of it.
I better wake him up right now. I'll shake him a little here. Kingfish? Kingfish.
Oh, honey, you was come to see me. You was forgive me, kiss me again.
I'd feel silly doing it even once.
Kingfish, it's me and Gabby. Wake up.
Hello, fellas. It's morning, huh?
Kingfish, has you been sleeping on this desk all night?
Yeah, let me get this rope off me here. I fell off the desk twice during the night, and I had to find a tie myself on here.
Kingfish, you got a home. What you sleeping on the desk for?
Well, I tell you, boy, my wife won't let me inside the house to sleep, that's why.
Oh, I see. Why don't you get twin desks and invite over here?
Kingfish, I hear that there was trouble brewing between you and your wife. What seems to be the bone of convention?
Well, the whole thing started when Sapphire told me that if she had to do it over again, that she'd never marry me.
Well.
Yeah, I done fixed up a letter to make it look like we never really was married, you see, and the thing backfired, and now she won't remarry me.
Well, as they say in French, tout le jour, tout le jour.
What did that mean, Gabby?
How'd I know? I ain't French.
Now, wait a minute. Now, look here, Gabby. I love my wife, and I want her back. Now, you as a lawyer, I'm glad you done come in here. You as a smart man. Now, what can I do?
Well, why don't you just tell her it was all a joke? All a joke. Tell her that.
Yeah, and that would really be my finish.
All right, I got another idea. Go over and see her. Go on over and see her. And tell her if she won't take you back, you'll shoot yourself. You'll shoot yourself. Tell her that. That's what to tell her.
Yeah, well, suppose I tell her that and she still refuses to take me back. What does it do then?
That's simple. Shoot yourself.
Shoot myself? What is you talking about?
Look, Kingfish, if you're going to object to every idea I get, I withdraw from the case. I can't stand stubborn clients.
Well, listen, Gabby, I'm sure there must be another solution to this thing that ain't quite as injurious to the health.
There's one other way, just one other way. Court your wife all over again, just like you done 20 years ago. Propose to her and everything.
Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. That I like.
Romance her again. Go ahead and romance her.
Yeah, that's good.
Tell her she's beautiful.
Now, wait a minute. Let's not go overboard, Jimmy. I told my wife 20 years ago she was beautiful. I stretched to the point then, and believe me, she certainly ain't gained no ground since then.
Well, Kingfish, it occurs to me that you must be a bit rusty on the art of courtship. If I was you, I'd consult with Andy. He seems to be the Quixote of Harlem.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Only one thing, Kingfish. This courtship idea ain't by no means surefire. It ain't surefire. You see, from the legal standpoint, it come under the heading of the Federal Reserve Bank.
The Federal Reserve Bank? How you figure that?
Well, Sapphire don't think she's married in the eyes of the federal government, so you better reserve a hotel room and don't bank on her taking you back. That's Federal Reserve Bank of Sapphire.
So you see, Anna, that's the way it is. Me and Sapphire has done foofed out with a capital foof.
You really take it on the chin with your married life, don't you, Kingfish? You know, instead of an arrow, Cupid must have hit you with a wet mop.
Yeah, well, now, look here. Let's get started here, Andy. You going to tell me how to court my wife according to the modern methods. That's what you're going to do now, up-to-date stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now, what does I do first?
Well, first you invite Sapphire out on a date and you buy her flowers.
Okay, yeah. Now, that's a good idea. Then what does it do?
Well, when you takes her home, you sits on the sofa with her and you pre-pose her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is really going to take practice.
Yeah, that's what I want to learn.
I tell you what, make believe I is Sapphire, and you go ahead and pre-pose to me.
Yeah, this is the best way to practice, huh?
Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead. Now look here. Kind of put your face near mine here.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, what does you say?
You've been eating onions.
Cut it out, Kingfish, cut it out. Get romantic.
All right, now listen to this. Honey, I want to tell you that I loves you with all my heart. Angel child, I'm crazy about you. I has always been crazy about you.
Pardon me. Are you two going steady?
Oh, hello, Shorty.
Hi, fellas.
Yeah, look, Shorty, we is just talking about courtship here. You might be able to help us. Come here.
Oh, sure. I just finished courting a girl. It's all busted up now, though. She was crazy about me.
Yeah, well, tell me this. How did you meet the gal and court and all that stuff?
Well, the way I met her was very romantic.
Yeah, well, where'd you meet her, Shorty?
She was standing outside the draft board.
Yeah. Well, what was she doing there?
Waiting for rejects. Yeah, our eyes met and we was in love.
Yeah, well, now, you say the thing is busted up even though she was crazy about you. Now, where'd you go wrong?
Trouble with her family. Yeah, they used to like to throw parties.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I was the party they were throwing. You know something? Every time I went to see that gal, her father would throw me out.
And what'd she do?
She stood outside and threw me back in. It got to be irksome.
Oh, now, look, Shorty, you ain't gonna help us none. I got a lot to learn. Get out of here, will you?
A Rinso whitewash,
With ease,
a Rinso bright wash.
with safety.
Is it any wonder that women here, there, everywhere are singing?
Rinso white.
For a wash that's white as it can be. Rinso bright.
B-R-I-G-H-T.
Yes, Rinso keeps your colors bright. Get out more dirt for a wash so white. Here's great advice, you can't go wrong.
Rinso white.
Rinso bright. Happy little wash day song.
You'll sing your way through wash day with Rinso's soapy rich suds on the job. No hard scrubbing or boiling. As little as a 10-minute soaking with Rinso, a few quick finger rubs on extra dirty places, and clothes are ready to rinse.
No more wash day sneezing spells either.
No, ma'am. Rinso's anti-sneeze. It's made by an exclusive anti-sneeze patented process. It's 98% free of sneezy soap dust. No other granulated soap can make this claim. So next wash day, remember, a Rinso whitewash,
With ease,
a Rinso bright wash.
with safety.
Well, Andy, you has been a great help coaching me and all that stuff concerning women, courtship and all that.
Yeah, well, the system that I has done learned you is the same one I uses myself with the gals, and I've been engaged 46 times.
You engaged 46 times, huh?
Yeah.
How come you never got married?
Skill, just plain skill.
Well, now, the first move I'm going to make is to call Sapphire up now and make a date with her and go out dining and dancing.
Yeah, and don't forget to make the imprint on her by ordering caviar.
Caviar, I didn't hear of it, but what is it, though?
Well, it's, the way they explain it to me, caviar is nothing but fish eggs, about as big as buckshot. Must be a lot of work to shell them things, huh?
Yeah, well, I'll order a dozen. Say, Andy, I had in mind a place to take Sapphire, the Club La Paris there. What do you know about that?
Oh, the Club La Paris? Yeah, that's high class, all right. And Besides that, now is a good time to go there.
How did you mean?
Well, it's near the end of the month now, and they changes their tablecloths.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyhow, I know Sapphire likes that place. She's always been wanting to go there. She's been begging me to take her there, you see.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is call her up on the phone, tell her about the thing, and then I'm going to take her right to the place. I'm going to call her up right now.
Yeah, well, now, look here. Don't forget to sound romantic, Kingfish.
I won't. Now, just leave it to me, because when I get on the phone, I'm going to give her that small talk, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Hello.
Hello, Sapphire, honey, lamb pie, darling, sugarfoot. This is Loverboy.
Oh, hello, George. What you want?
Honey, I was just thinking here, don't you think this would be a good night to go dining and dancing and have a lot of fun?
Yes, I think it would.
Oh, that's swell. I got it, yeah. Honey, don't you think it would be a great night for two people to walk home in the moonlight?
Yes, I do, George.
Oh, I know you would see it my way, sweetheart. Now, what I want to ask you is, wouldn't you like to go to Club La Paris tonight?
I'd love to go to the Club La Paris.
Oh, you would, huh? Got it now. Yeah, you would. Yeah. Oh, that's great, honey.
Yes, that's why I asked the man that I got a date with tonight to take me there.
Yeah, well, now, that's a what? You mean you're going out to the Club La Paris with another man?
That's right, George. Goodbye.
Sapphire, wait a minute. Hello. Oh, Andy, did you hear that? My wife is going out with another man.
Well, listen, you can't blame Sapphire, Kingfish. She thinks you all ain't married. That's what's the matter.
Yeah, but that ain't the point. The point is that some low-down bum snuck behind my back and made a date with my wife. Andy, what does you think of a man that would make a date with Sapphire?
He must be crazy.
That's no excuse. When I catches that bum, I is going to smash him to a pulp. Andy, do you know what I'm going to do tonight?
No, what, Kingfish?
Look here, I tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I is going over to Club La Paris, and I'm going to beat the ears off the man that took Sapphire out dancing.
Oh, it's wonderful dancing in a lovely place like this. I really enjoyed this dance. You know something? You rumbles beautifully.
Oh, is that what I was doing?
My goodness, if you didn't know you was doing the rumba, how did you know how to shake the rumba tempo so perfectly?
Oh, you see, Sapphire, I was a born dancer. Music just makes me... dancing is right up my alley. I've got natural rhythm. Woolen underwear.
Just the same, I think you's a fine dancer.
Oh, thanks a lot. I guess I could have danced even better with you if I wasn't so much shorter than you were.
Oh, I don't mind your being shorter, but was it uncomfortable for you?
A little. I kept scratching my forehead on your belt buckle.
Oh, here he is at our table. Let's sit down and order something to eat. I'm starved.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm starved, too. Uh-oh. Look who's coming.
So there you is, Sapphire.
George, what on earth are you doing here?
Yeah, I come here to beat the brains out of the man that you was with. That's what I'm doing here. Now, where's the man? Where is the man?
He's sitting right... Why, he was there a minute ago. Shorty, where is you?
Under the table.
Oh, so it ain't a man after all. Shorty, come out from under that table.
George, I wish you'd stop shouting. People is beginning to stare.
Well, I don't care. Let 'em. Oh, so there you is, Shorty. I never would believe that you was the one that's out with my wife. Why, you was nothing but a dirty, low-down, good-for-nothing, double-crossing bum.
Now, wait a minute, Kingfish. You can't talk to me that way. I ain't gonna stand for it. If you wasn't smaller than I is, I'd knock your block off.
Yeah, but I is bigger than you is.
Well, that's all the more reason.
Oh, come on, Shorty. Now listen here. I done took enough of this. Out with my wife, huh? Now put up your mitts. I tell you what I gonna do to you. I don't care about your size. I gonna massacre you.
Now, George, you ain't gonna dare to touch me.
Let him go. That's all right, Sapphire. After what the Kingfish said, this room ain't big enough to hold the two of us. That's what.
Yeah, well, what is you gonna do about it?
Well, what is
Yeah, what is you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm going. You get. But I was leaving.
Yeah, and as for you, Sapphire, if you think that you can go out with somebody every
You
time...
ain't got nothing to say about it. I ain't a married woman.
Yeah, well, if you think that you can fool
George,
me...
stop arguing a minute. Listen to what they're playing.
Yeah. let me call you sweetheart.
Don't that mean something to you, George?
Well, yeah. I first proposed to you years ago while we was dancing to that song.
George, let's dance it now.
Okay, Sapphire, come on. Honey, I want to apologize for the scene I just made, but the thought of you being out with somebody else just made me see red.
You did make an awful fuss, George.
Honey, can you ever forgive me? And will you let me call you sweetheart once again?
Why, George, dear, is you proposing to me again?
Sure I is, darling. I want you for my sweetheart forever.
Oh, George, them words is just as sweet as when you said them 20 years ago. And my answer's still the same. I love you too, darling.
Honey, you dance divinely.
George, I was just thinking here. Ain't it lucky that the band just happened to play our song and bring us back together again like this?
Sapphire, I got a confession to make, honey. They just didn't happen to play the song. I gave the band leader $1 to play it.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, get it back. I just give him $2 to play the same thing.
Folks, my friend Harlow Wilcox has something to say to you, something that makes mighty good sense to me and Andy.
Well, yes, it does make sense to do things a better way and an easier way. That's why so many women use Soapy Rich Rinso, for Rinso gets your clothes.
Rinso what?
And washable colors come safely.
Rinso white.
No wonder Rinso is the only soap recommended by the makers of 33 leading washers, among them your prized Hot Point washer. Remember, the manufacturers of washers have gone to war, so have your Hot Point washer inspected regularly. And stick to Rinso regularly, too.
Me and Andy, we agree with Mr. Wilcox, and we urge you folks to follow his good Rinso advice. Good night.
Good night, folks.
Be sure to be with us next Friday evening at this same time when the makers of Rinso will again present the Amos and Andy Show. Don't miss the hilarious proceedings next week when Andy and the Kingfish try to win a $500 prize in a baby picture contest. The Amos and Andy Show is broadcast to our fighting men all over the world through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is Harlow Wilcox saying good night to all of you from all of us. Large-scale war production is going ahead on all cylinders and will continue until we've won victory on both fronts. That means, among other things, that we can look forward this year to lower supplies than ever on the civilian market. With buying power higher than ever, prices will surely go up unless we do something about it. Now, this is what you can do. Buy only what you really need. When you buy, pay no more than ceiling prices and pay your ration points in full. Save. Buy and hold all the war bonds you can possibly afford to help pay for the war and to ensure your own future. Do your part to keep prices down.
Swan is pure as fine Castile. See how smooth your hands will feel. Baby, mild for everything. Swan's the soap that makes us sing.
Gentle for you and baby. Mild for hands that wash dishes and light laundry. That's
Swan soap, Swan soap.